Further west, still from Ellery Creek Big Hole, we find some of the most interesting geology that you can find in the Western MacDonnell Ranges, and that is this particular area around here, straddled between Mount Sonder, Mount Giles, incorporates Ormiston Gorge, Ormiston Pound, and down towards Glen Helen Gorge. They're more specifically around Mount Sonder. It's also known as the Red Bank Shear Zone there, and it is interesting when you look at Mount Sonder there. It is a curious mountain, and geologically it's also very curious there, and for the simple reason that is essentially an upside down mountain there. Capped along the top of Mount Sonder is the heavy tree quartzite there, about 850 million years old there, but underlying that is younger geology, the Bitter Springs formation that occurred about 800 million years ago. That, from a geological point of view, is counterintuitive. You would expect that to be reverse, the older material underneath with the successively younger material on top. That's not the case for Mount Sonder there, and it is a demonstration of how powerful the geological forces of Earth can generate. So in this particular case, the heavy tree quartzite did in fact originally was underneath the Bitter Springs, and it was further north there and deep down there, and so all this area here was uplifted and thrown over and folded over, and the older layers now are on top of the younger layers in this particular area there. Now you could do that as an experiment as yourself with a tablecloth there, and if you hold the tablecloth with one hand, let's say your left hand, and with your right hand push it towards your left hand, you'll find those folds being created there, and if you look closely enough, you'll see that this is what can happen, and you'll have in the end older material on top of younger material, and this is what has happened with Mount Sonder and all through this area here, including this ridge along here that rings around Ormiston Pound. Ormiston Gorge itself is quite spectacular. It's the same sort of feature there, younger geology on top of or underneath older geology there, and it gives you a sense of the incredible power that created this place here, and kind of a respect for deep time that it allows you to be able to see this plasticity of Earth there. It's a living organism really. It's not static as a lot of us in our short lives would assume it would be there. So it's certainly worth having a deep look around here. You'd be surprised, and of course it's heavily imbued with a lot of cultural stories there. It is striking to the human brain, and you try to figure it out there, and of course the first inhabitants tried to do that, and we're kind of doing that scientifically ourselves.